Hello guys, I'm Timothy Earle with Earle Sports Bets and Picks and Parlays, and welcome back to another edition of Ballin with Tim Earle. We've got 3 MLB playoff games because, well, one of the series is going to be over by the time this video comes out because Baltimore is currently down 6-0. Shame there. It is what it is, but we got the 3 games that will be going on tomorrow, and I threw in some more NHL because, you know what? We already hit Tampa Bay. Well, let's see what we can do with the other 2 plays tonight, and I'm excited for some hockey. I think it's going to be a good year, so we'll talk about that as well. Before we jump into both of those, if you guys are new to the channel, or if you guys are new and want to grab some premium plays, picksandparlays.net/Tim. 1 week pass, $70. You get hockey. Like I said, we already hit on the Tampa Bay puck line. We have the over in the Pens game, and we have Seattle money line as well up on the site. So we'll see how those go because Pens game is currently after the first period at the moment. So we'll see. Those are the plays that are currently up on the site. So let's go. Lots of other stuff too. If you guys are interested in that, 1 week pass, $70. Also, make sure you guys are following Earle Sports Bets on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. Hopefully we can try to grow the community some more. Let's jump into it. Astros and the Twins will be the first game we look at. The Twins minus 125, 8.5 is the total. Houston 1 win away from heading back to the ALCS in what will most likely be a battle of Texas. And I think they get there, but I'm going to go after the over in this game. We get Jose Urquidy taking on Joe Ryan. Joe Ryan was the second biggest over pitcher in baseball. The biggest over pitcher we'll be talking about in a little bit, and that'll be Lance Lynn. But I'm going to be grabbing the over in the early game. I think Houston puts up some runs on Joe Ryan. Jose Urquidy's a little bit shaky. I'm not super confident with him either. That's why I'm not going after Houston. Instead, I'm taking the over 8.5. This has probably been one of the more fun matchups so far, and that's the Braves and the Phillies. An absolute ugly matchup for me as a Mets fan, but some fantastic baseball being played on both sides. Phillies minus 129 is the total. Aaron Nola and Bryce Edler, and right off the rip, that's a big pitching mismatch for me. And the fact that the Phillies are favored in this game tells me everything I need to know. I'm a strong believer. I think Philly wins the series. They might not go back to Atlanta. So I'm jumping on the Phillies. They're short money line minus 120. If you want to really get some value, you could probably get their run line at some nice plus money as well. Figure I'd throw that one out there. That's got to be halfway decent. Plus 160 area. Just throwing that one out there. Could definitely be an interesting spot, but Phillies minus the 120. We talked about an over pitcher. Lance Lynn versus Brendan Pfaadt is going to be the final matchup, and that's the Dodgers and the D-backs. Dodgers minus 150. 9.5 is the total in this one. And although I think this series is finished after tomorrow, I think that the Diamondbacks finish off the sweep. I'm going over. Lance Lynn, biggest over pitcher in baseball, and I think the Dodgers should be able to get some runs against Brendan Pfaadt. I'm just expecting a higher scoring game. So last game, although I do lean Arizona, and I'm probably going to end up betting them as well, we're going to be taking the over 9.5 in that game. Let's head over to the ice. Some ice cold cash. We'll start off with a really good matchup in the West, and that is the Avalanche and the Kings. It's a pick'em price with a total of 6. And one thing I like to look for in the NHL is lines that just look a little bit too small, just a little bit off to me. I figured Colorado would be a bigger favorite. I figured they would be minus 130, 140, which when I see that, it pushes me right towards the opposite side. I like the Kings in this matchup. I think the Kings are actually going to be quite good this year. Now, granted, I have the Avalanche, I think, 4th in my power rankings preseason-wise, so I do think the Avalanche are going to be a really good team this year. But a pick'em price, and they have to start off on the road. I think it's a little bit of a rough spot for them right off the rip. Let's grab some Kings in this one. And, of course, I had to talk about this one. It's the Montreal Canadiens and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Maple Leafs minus 300. 6.5 is the total. I know Nick will probably be on the Habs tomorrow. I'm not going after a side. I'm going after a total. This one's going way over. I think you're going to get a Montreal team that's going to be a lot healthier than last year. They were just battered up with injuries and caused them to not be able to have as good of an offense as they would hope. Now, their goaltending, their defense is still nothing good, which I think is why Toronto's going to put at least 4 goals up on them tomorrow, 4 to 5 goals. Toronto, I have as my number 1 team in my power rankings, so I'm not fading them right now. I have Montreal in the mid-20s, I think 24, 23rd, something like that. I do think Toronto is obviously the better team. I think they're going to put up enough goals to get me over. This one's like a 5-2, 5-3 type of game, so I'm taking the over in Toronto. Those are the 5 free picks for this edition of Ballin' Out. Once again, if you guys are interested in grabbing some of the premium plays, obviously none of my plays from hockey are Nick's or go up on the site unless Nick agrees with them. I have zero influence on that. So all Nick's plays, they're up there, along with, baseball plays. And there's college football as well throughout the week. So if you guys are interested in that, picksandparlays.net/Tim. And then make sure you guys are following the Earle Sports Bets on social medias. Recap time. We'll grab the over in the Twins game. We'll grab the Phillies -120. We'll grab the over in the Arizona game. We'll grab the Kings on the money line. And we'll grab the over in Toronto. That's going to do it for this edition of Ballin' Out with Tim Earle. Thank you guys for watching.